सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरम्.
So, dear elder brothers and sisters, and then especially young brothers, sisters. Indeed, I am very, very happy having this opportunity for interaction with mainly young people. There are two reasons. One reason, that's not important reason, but a silly reason. That is, I am now old person, but sitting or talking with young people, I also feel I'm younger. When I sitting with old people, then sometimes I feel you go first or me go first. So I think human nature, I think when you visit garden, sort of new, flower, growing, feel happy. Even birds, I think springtime, everything is growing, starting. So something very fresh. And autumn and winter, something like that. So that's one reason. Second reason, more important. Time always moving. No force can stop movement of the time. Even I think God, I think if you are sort of the believer or creator, then time also created by God. So in any way, generally speaking, even God cannot stop movement of the time. So past is past. We can learn something. But we have no the ability to change past. Future not yet come. So something something open. Meantime, future no guarantee. So firstly, we can change future. And secondly, since there's no guarantee, we must work hard. And then we are talking mainly future of humanity. So human life, quite sophisticated. So therefore, future of humanity is we need vision, more holistic, long-term interest. That's very important. So I often telling generation of 20th century and generation of 21st century, you are the generation of 21st century. So now, 21st century, only 14 years passed. Now 15th year, just the beginning. Right?
16. 16 years.
Correct.
15 passed.
Right. Correct.
You don't have to. You don't jump.
로정은 수업해봐.
You don't gypsy, but
I don't know. Anyway, 2014 already passed. So 2015, just the beginning. As someone mentioned, see, year, not something absolute independent. Year means combination of 12 months. Each month, or 30 days, or 31 day, like that. So, in order to carry meaningful year, we must look day by day. Each day should be meaningful. Meaningful means we are human being, we are sensitive being. We have the experience of joys and pains and happiness, these things. That's the key thing. I just visited the industry of diamond. No matter how sort of high price, diamond have no experience of pleasure and happiness or pains. Quite simple. When you see, we are passing through a difficult sort of moment, and we show little sort of sadness. Even dogs, cats, sometimes you see, show us. You see, they are sort of a sense of concern, and they cannot do much except licking. I think diamond. Maybe your diamond may have some special thing. Otherwise, with the diamond, it have no ability to show us affection. Clear? So therefore, we as a sentient being, and particularly, you see, we are human being, it's a human affection, sense of concern of others' well-being. That's the, I think, something. And then combine that affection with wisdom or vision. That's the unique sort of also the human, I think, ability. Other animal, they can show affection, but without sort of also the sharp intelligence, right? But we, so therefore, our affection, compassion can extend towards entire world, entire sentient being, and particularly entire humanity. Animal cannot do that. So, human brain, I think, human intelligence, human brain, something very precious. However, human brain combined with destructive emotion, that's very dangerous. Much dangerous than more dangerous than animals. So now here we need intelligence through study. At the same time, in order to be that intelligence useful for other as well as yourself, the human compassion is key factor. So combine these two things, smart brain and warm-heartedness here. Then I think that individual human being, himself or herself, be happier. And his or her activities can be more constructive, brings more happiness, other fellow human beings, including animals. So, I think we can say, I think knowledge is in a way, I think we can consider as a God, if you believe God. And we can say, I think according to theistic religion, God creates this marvelous human brain. So use this brain properly. So that's the best way to serve God. I think fulfill the purpose of God's creation of our marvelous brain. We Buddhists, like Jainism, no concept of creator, but rather self-creation. So use properly our brain that you utilize one of the best sort of part of human sort of body. So education or knowledge, as we can say, ultimate source of happiness. So the young people, now in order to create happy future, you must utilize your brain fully, combined with sense of affection or compassion. Now in order to, I think according to today's education here, intelligence must be realistic. So the reality is something very complex. There are various different aspects. So it is very, very important to look more wider, through wider perspective and look more holistic, because there are so many different aspects. From just one angle, you can't see the reality. 4 dimension, 6 dimension, then you will know the reality. Unless you know the reality, no matter how your sincere motivation and good aim, you can't achieve, because the method becomes unrealistic, because without knowing the reality. Particularly now, our future, our population increasing, and global warming also increasing. So there are many factors to create more problems. We have to think more holistic way. Then, sometimes intelligence alone, when we see, say, immense problem, sometimes we discourage. Right? Now, in order to keep our enthusiasm, warm-heartedness is the key factor. Think well-being of other. Then, once you really determined to serve humanity, then once you develop, that's what say, Mahakaruna. No matter how difficult it is, so you can keep your enthusiasm. So, warm-heartedness, karuna, also source of inner strength. Karuna brings self-confidence. Because, you see, karuna, sense of concern of others' well-being, that sort of feeling, or that concept there, that experience where there you can carry your life honest, truthful, transparent. So that brings inner strength, self-confidence, and confidence from others. So therefore, these two things, whether believer or non-believer, these two things utilize human brain maximum way and proper way, that means more holistic or long-term way. Seeing long-term sort of benefit, and then keeping warm heartedness here, that brings inner strength. Combine wisdom, inner strength combined. Then future, I think at least the next few centuries, I think quite sure can be happy future. Then beyond that, there's too much global warming, the whole planet positions change, then nobody knows. So that's not cause of our concern. I think next several generations, I think okay. Okay. So you are the generation of 21st century. Now, whether 21st century can be happy century or miserable century or destructive century, up to younger generation. Now in India, I think with long history, and many Indians, they are thinking, their wisdom, really marvelous. Of course, I am Buddhist and a follower or student of Nalanda Nalanda tradition, Nalanda I don't know, Nalanda institution, okay, monastic institution. So I read a lot of writings wrote by those Nalanda masters, such as Nagarjuna, Aryadeva, and Arya Sangha, Dignath, Dharmakirti, Chandrakirti, so on. I read, I think, several books wrote by these Nalanda masters. I really was amazing. They are sharp mind. So, in Buddhist tradition, quantum physics already developed 2,000 years ago. In the West, quantum physics is something new. One time, the Indian nuclear physicist Raja Ramana, so one time in Delhi, one meeting, he mentioned, he found the concept of quantum physics, one of Nagarjuna's writing. He, as an Indian, he really felt proud as an Indian. There's such a very very modern sort of concept, right? The quantum mechanics or quantum physics in this country, over 2,000 years already developed this concept. So very, very smart. Then also about human emotion, human mind is concerned. India's psychology, highly developed. So this nation, in the past, I think, really developed very sophisticated sort of mind or intelligent. So then, today, and then with these sort of concepts, I think India, 1,000 years, I think over 3,000 years, the concept of ahimsa. With that, the concept of secularism. See, whether believer or non-believer, doesn't matter. Consider same human being, same human brothers, sisters, respect. So that also something very, very important. And then with that, this country, 1,000 years, religious harmony there. Today, even today, I think this country, I think only India have, I think, genuine, religious harmony on the basis of mutual respect. Although some pockets here and there, some problems sometimes happen, that's understandable. But overall, I think religious harmony here still exists. This is, I think, example of the rest of the world. Because it's there on the planet, it's a religious faith also causing problem. Not only division, but also killing. So such situation, the India's 1,000-year-old spirit of religious harmony is very, very relevant to today's world. Because of these things, India, modern India, is a very stable, democratic country. As a matter of fact, India is the most populated democratic country. So these, I think, some relation with 1,000-year-old India's tradition, that some kind of impact in Indian mind, some kind of say, more mature, like that. So therefore, now young Indian, you have the potential, can make some significant contribution for well-being of the world or of the humanity. That is, in ancient time, we consider, praying for entire sentient being, entire humanity, is something like just a prayer. Now today, it's necessary. Due to technology and some other and also population and also living standard, the world becoming much smaller. Now today's world heavily interdependent. So I think India's future also much depend on the rest of the world. Rest of the world peaceful, happier, India also get a benefit. So like that, West future depend East. Similarly, future of East depend West. Similarly, North world, South world. So everything interdependent. So therefore, you have to take serious concern about the well-being of the rest of the world for your interest, for your own future. So now here, and then other sort of aspect. Today's many problems, essentially man-made problem. These problems, on human level, I think no one created this problem. But secondary level, or human level, all 7 billion human beings are same. All want happy life. All want peace. Do not want suffering. Do not want violence. But at secondary level, yes, there is division. Religiously, also differences there. Political system, nationality, races, even within same country, India, caste system. Terrible. So same sort of religious faith, same nation, but make division due to on the basis of caste. Right? So these all problem with too much emphasis, importance of secondary level of differences. If we go fundamental level, then hardly say so there's no basis of division. You are a human being, I'm a human being, Western also human being, Eastern also human being. So long, 2 eyes, one nose. We are same. And then I think brain level, one time in South Africa, Soweto town, I had opportunity to visit one African, black African home. So I told them, now you already have democratic constitution. But emotionally, you see, still you need more effort to develop mentally equal white people, black people. And one African, black African, you see, told me, no, we cannot be equal because the white people's brain much more superior. With black Africans' brain is inferior. I really shocked. And I argue, this is totally wrong. If you ask some brain specialist or a scientist any differences due to color, they will say, no differences. And then also I explain about our own sort of problem, the Tibetan problem, these things. So question of opportunity. If opportunity there, all human beings can be top. So therefore, then finally, that black African with long kasa, Sai, he low-key voice, he said, now he convinced we are same. So therefore, you see, basically we all same ability, same potential. And then, you see, now time come, we must go fundamental level. We must talk about entire humanity. So I always is telling people when I give the talk, we need the sense of oneness of 7 billion human beings. Then I think a lot of man-made problem, if not eliminated completely, certainly can be reduced. So here, you Indian brothers, sisters, can make significant contribution in that. So you need a vision, not only thinking India, but thinking the whole world. That I want to share with you. Now some questions, question answer. I go sit there. Some questions. You see, no need to formality. Frank question. I always love frank question, direct question, much better. Okay.
Does religion hold in attaining spirituality for any individual?
Of course. Religion's important. If you, firstly, all major world religious tradition, some sort of also the local faith, as I may say, primitive sort of faith. These are something different. Major religious tradition all carry message of love, of tolerance, of forgiveness, simplicity, and self-discipline. So, all major religious tradition, you see, very, very helpful to humanity. At the same time, we must be serious. Whether we accept religion or not, it's up to individual. Once we accept, we should be serious. We should be sincere and follow the religious sort of, or say the practice. And religious concept should be part of your life. Quite often, you see, when you are in the church or say the temple, see, you looks very serious. But outside, not much serious. And you indulge all sorts of work. Sometimes I jokingly is telling my Indian friend, I think every Indian family, I think they have some statues and offering something, flowers, incense, then pray. Sometimes it seems to me they pray to God, my corrupted life should be successful. Impossible. Impossible. You see, if you really believe God or something, then you should be serious, honest, truthful, compassionate. Some time back, I think 2-3 years ago, I met one Cuban refugee from America. They are very, very religious-minded Catholic, sort of Catholicism. Is a very much sort of believer. And he seriously told me, every time he prayed to God, please, Fidel Castro, bring to heaven sooner the better. So that kind of, so therefore, I think we should pray to God, oh, those corrupted people should bring to heaven sooner the better.
Thank you so much.
So otherwise, you see, religion also corrupted. So therefore, we should be serious, sincere. Then all major religious tradition, in spite of different philosophical views, all carry same message. In philosophical views, big differences. Basically, theistic religion, non-theistic religion. Within non-theistic religion, the concept of Atma and Anatma, there is differences. Within the Buddhist sort of school of thought, basically all accepted Anatma theory. But within that, the Vivasek, Swatantik, Chittamantra, Madhyamika, 4 major different school of thought. And within each, again, small, slight differences about philosophical views. So these are necessary because among the humanity, so many different mental dispositions. Even Buddha's, among Buddha's own disciples, you see, there are different mental dispositions. Therefore, Buddha taught different philosophical views. But all meant for good human being, sensible human being, compassionate human being, like that. Next question.
Yes, please, anyone?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Your Holiness Dalai Lama ji, on behalf of students, as you have already said, that it is intellect that governs the world. It is also said in Sanskrit also that etad desha prasutasya sakashadagra janmanah swam swam charitram shiksheran prithvivyam sarva manava. So I want to ask you whether the world has known the power that war power has destructed all the world. Now everyone wants peace, but whether in which way, whether it would come from east or west. And if it is coming from east, then we are very eager to know in which way. That is my question.
I think according to today's reality, material comfort through technology, science, that mainly come from West. Now India also now rushing to copy that. In the meantime, the inner peace, very sophisticated philosophical views, and then also, as I mentioned earlier, very rich knowledge about emotion. I think I often used to telling, in the West also I telling, they compare Western psychology, compare with ancient Indian psychology, Western modern psychology is like kindergarten level. India highly developed, but modern Indian, I think a little bit neglect about this knowledge. Making diamond. But I really admire, you see, his work, wonderful. His own sort of personal story. Also, you see, really, very, very sort of touching way, very touching way. Wonderful. He really devoted
Thank you, sir.
We require
So-
the character like Govind.
So
Bhagat.
therefore,
Okay, thank you.
now ultimate source of peace or ultimate source of happiness is within ourselves, not a mission, and not a diamond. Only warm-heartedness. This brings inner peace. Through inner peace, genuine, peaceful family, peaceful community, finally, peaceful world can achieve only through inner peace, not by weapon.
That is so true, sir. Any other question, please?
What is your life main principle? What is your life's main principle, and what is about point of view about education system in India?
I think India's education system, mainly introduced by Britisher, of course, modern education. It is very useful, very relevant. But existing modern education system alone, I don't think, complete for human education. Because, you see, the modern education, it seems to me very much oriented about material value. Not much talk about inner value. So, in the West, usually you see people who are showing genuine sort of moral principle, then they always rely on religious faith. Now, that is a problem. Now, today's world, out of 7 billion human beings, over 1 billion human beings are non-believers. And among the believers also, as I mentioned earlier, corrupted one. So this clearly shows we are lacking the education about inner value. Inner value, when we talk karuna, these things, then we immediately got the impression that's a religious matter. So those non-believers, these things usually is neglected. That's wrong. Whether believe religion or not, that's up to individual. But so long we are part of humanity. Humanity needs affection. Because we born with mother's affection, as we already discussed. So mother's affection, mother's love is the key factor to scientists. They say after birth, next few weeks, simply mother's physical touch is the key factor to proper development of the child's brain. Then obviously, those children who received maximum affection from their parent, particularly from mother, their whole life, deep inside, much happier. Those children, no matter how successful outwardly, but deep inside, those children who are lacking in early age, is a lack of parents' affection, or unwanted child, or abuse, then in deep inside, some kind of sense of insecurity. With that, fear, whole life unhappy. So such people often, develop fear and distrust and remain distant. Result, very unhappy person, lonely person. So that's human nature. Not religious sort of because of that. I mean these children, very young age, no longer, not yet developed the religious faith, but faith towards mother. Biologically, even animal, also like that. So we really need the way promoting human value. Those believers, very good, use various different traditions. Okay. Those not much sort of belief or no belief in any religion. And among the religious people, also, you see, they carry their faith more or less traditional way, more or less because of the tradition. Then not much not much absorbed in their sort of mind. So we need education, a secular way, based on our common experience and common sense and scientific finding. We can teach that also from kindergarten level up to university level. We can teach, because ancient Indian psychology so rich. The mind within this skull or mind, subject of mind is so vast, so many different emotions. Now, a lot of emotion are destructive. At the same time, the counterforce of destructive emotion also must develop within emotion. So we have to know the whole system of the mind or emotion. Then it becomes much easier to tackle this destructive emotion. Just a prayer, pray to God, not sufficient. Or Buddhist, just a simple meditation, not sufficient. We should know the whole map of emotion, whole map of the mind, like that. So we need secular way to educate about moral ethics on the basis of fuller knowledge about emotion and mind.
Sir, my name is Hardik. I'm a teacher at the engineering college. My question is, we are following too much of Western way, like in our culture. And Western way is basically believe in the one life. So they are focused on so much on a goal. But as a Eastern way, we always believe in the rebirth. And it's a cyclic load. So we are confused between the Western way and our our Eastern way. That how should we follow our life? Like we should go and follow only one goal, or we should follow and carry over our karmas.
As I mentioned earlier, this is modern India. I think you need a modern education, including technology or science, these things. At the same time, you should not forget about your 1,000-year-old traditional sort of knowledge. That's very, very important. That I think something I think lacking, as far as I notice.
Thank you, sir. This gentleman, sir, wants to ask you.
Yes.
Hello. Tashi Derek, sir.
Trishri.
His Holiness, I am watching your videos and lectures since a long time, and I just want to ask a simple thing to you. That you have developed a lots of wisdom inside you. I just want to ask that, is it just developed within yours, or it is because of the teachings of Buddhist, as a life of your Buddhist monk? Thank you.
Buddha stated, all my followers should not accept my teaching out of faith, out of devotion, but rather thorough investigation and experiment. So, of course, I learned Buddha's teaching, but then mainly I myself analyze, research, and also discuss with modern scientists. So, one part, of course, the Buddhist ancient those sort of texts, Buddha, Nagarjuna, or these, as I mentioned earlier. Meantime, one's own sort of, we call analytical meditation. The real change must come through your own analytical meditation, because a critical analysis is the most important. So, Buddhist tradition, 3 levels of knowledge. First level of knowledge from hearing or reading. Second knowledge your own investigation, thorough research, analyze, and experiment. Then you get real sort of firm understanding about the point. If someone argue, you are ready to answer. First level, if someone argue, then you see, Kasoda, and she asked him, Kasoda, you lost. Then third, the point which you now develop full awareness or conviction, then familiarize that. Then without much sort of effort, without much thinking, automatically come. So my own sort of practice now, nearly 80 years old person, over 60 years, of course, I study, start I think around 7-8 years. But at that time, I was very, very lazy student. I have no interest for learning. Only interest is play. I think you also have the same sort of experience, isn't it? Like you see, New Day or Diwali holiday, feel very happy. So sometimes I really feel regret. At that time, I lost, I think, good opportunity. I think good period for study at that time. Then I think 15, 16-year-old age, then I developed genuine interest for practice, for study also. So I think here, I'm Buddhist. Maybe it's my sort of comment, little bit sort of prejudice. But usually I telling you people, the Buddhist sort of way of practice is utilize human intelligence maximum way. Through that way, transform our emotion. So some Westerners, they say Buddhism is not a religion. Buddhism is science of mind. In some extent, it is true, like that. So therefore, my own case is analyze. We call analytical meditation. It's the most effective sort of method to bring more balance our emotion, destructive emotion, neutralize. Then automatically positive, constructive emotion. Then year by year take more strength. So that's the way to transform our life, more peaceful. And peaceful mind also is very good for physical health. I think some of my friends, you see, sometimes you see, they ask me, what is your secret? You see, your health seems very good. Then I usually tell them, oh, that's my secret. I do not want to share. But actually it's nothing special. Comparatively, my mind quite peaceful. At age 14, I lost my freedom. Age 24, I lost my own country. A lot of suffering in our country. A lot of disturbances, a lot of difficulties. But I always say, intellectual level, seeing these sad things. But emotional level can keep calm. So 2 levels of Kasoda. Experience, right? Experience on intelligence, yes. Recognize this is bad. We must work hard. At the emotional level, keep calm. So I think there's my physical sort of health also very much related with peace of mind. So therefore, you see, we all same human being, the same mental potential. Buddhists call all sentient beings have Buddha nature, Tathagata Garva, Sukha there. And then, according to theistic religion, God creates entire humanity. So all have some spark of God. God considered as a father. So everybody have some kind of genes of that father. So all have potential of loving kindness. God himself, one aspect of God is infinite love. Like that. Now next question.
My name is Yayati Desai, and my question is, it is said that the past is something that we cannot change. The future is uncertain. The present moment is what we have. So my little confusion is that, should we focus on the present, or should we plan for the future or not? Or take life as it comes? This is my confusion.
Where is present?
Right now.
Yes, right now.
It is past.
Roughly speaking, yes, we can say present and right now. But if you go, you see, present century, present decade, present month, or present year, present month, present day, present minute, present second. Second, 1 second past, 1 second future. Where is present?
I don't know.
So the time is flowing and time is running. May I invite?
So therefore, you see,
Okay, there is a from authority, from chair.
So
one more question.
Without the thorough investigation or deeper level of investigation, yes, present there. But if we investigate, we can't find. So similarly, anything, now like quantum physics also, if you investigate what's a flower, you can't find. But without investigation, conventionally, we accept this flower. Like that. That's Kasa, Tempanyi said. Hindi cat.
Your question, please.
Is there any specific...
No, okay. Not yet finished. Till of the Tempanyi. Mari, should get. Hindi love. Now, not necessarily the term. You see, there is always, you see, gap, appearances and reality. So quantum physics describing reality. Buddhist concept, shunyata, also, you see, describing the reality. Appearances, something combinedly, we call. Now, for example, human being, eye, or physical, human physical, without thinking deeper level of reality. We conventionally, we accept it. Yes, this is this is that. So now, in any way, when we talk about future, importance of future, conventional way, so in any way, future depend on present. So, in order to make change future, the present, we have to plan with vision and make effort. Now, most important, these young students, education, properly educated, education combined with compassion. So, teacher, very important. The real sort of also the medium of love, karuna, not word, but action. So teacher, very, very important. As a teacher should take full responsibility, not only in the lesson, but whole future of the student, and show your genuine sense of concern of their future. And then, you see, share your own experiences. Then student develop how much sort of precious about basic human sense of concern of others' well-being. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Next now. Yes, you.
Any specific message or a piece of advice to young female students?
Karsa. Oh, usually, you see, I make clear human history. I think several 100,000 years ago, then small population and life simple. So at that time, no concept of leadership. Everybody equal. Work together, whatever they get, share together. Then farming system started. Then human concept of mind increased. Then thief or bully, cheating, these things happen. So then concept of leadership developed. So at that time, no rule of education. So in order to become leadership, only physical strength, like some other animal. So then male physically more stronger. So male dominance then start. Then eventually education start. Education brings more equal, man and female. Now today, education alone not sufficient. Now we need special effort for promotion of human love, human affection. In that respect, biologically, now some scientists experimented on man, a female, watching one sort of kasora, motion, picture, someone passing through painful experiences. Then biologically, female, much more sort of response. Much more sensitive, sort of sensitivity about others' pain. So that's a biological factor. Therefore, now time for special effort, promotion of human affection, human love, loving kindness. Female should take more active role regarding promotion of human compassion, human affection. That's why I think several years ago, on one occasion I was in Paris, one women's magazine, one correspondent or reporter of that magazine interviewed me. And she asked me, in the future, in case Dalai Lama reincarnation continue, then whether future Dalai Lama can be female or not. I immediately respond, yes. If the circumstances of such female Dalai Lama is more effective, more useful, then why not? In Tibetan tradition, the reincarnation, I think almost 7 centuries, among the top reincarnation, some are female. So it is not unusual, right? Not unusual like that. So therefore, and then I jokingly respond to that reporter, if female Dalai Lama come, must be very, very attractive. You see, ugly face female Dalai Lama is not much useful. So that's I really believe. Now female should take more sort of responsibility to promote. Firstly, in your own family, provide maximum affection. Spend more time with your children. And then in the society, female should take more sort of responsibility in education field, particularly education field. So here, one of my critics, India, still male-dominated society. I think that must change. And with with this caste system and some sort of discrimination, female. Even I noticed, even laborers, constructors were out doing even laborers. You see, their husband acting more superior, the wife lower. It's totally wrong. It must be equal, must be equal. So, the female side also, you see, must work hard and compete with husband or with.
Absolutely right, sir. It was so inspiring.
So that's very, very important. So usually, you see, in the West, feminists, I always support them. To extreme feminists, that's not good. But generally, feminists are very, very important. So one time, one meeting, some Nobel laureates, so one Nobel laureate used to describe me as a feminist Dalai Lama. So you must work hard with self-confidence. We must be equal. That's very important. 1,000-year-old, your tradition is outdated. You must think new way, future, new future.
Thank you.
May I say so?
Thank you so much, sir.